We have to agree on what you're going to pay me now.
This is sensitive topic. I'm serious. Seriously joking.
That's good.
Wow, we just have a new guest, which is amazing. He's the current president of FIATA. What an honor. For the sake of the audience, Mr. and Professor Thomas, can you share with them who you are? And little short introduction, please. Thank you.
My name is Thomas. I'm, you can say, a practice academia. I'm in the supply chain logistics freight forwarding circle for last about 41 years. And you know, I'm just like any other forwarder, except that basically I like to interact with people. I like to learn from a lot of people from different economies. I keep on learning. I'm a young man, so there's some still balance, some energy to try to learn and to share what I know.
That's so humble. Yeah. So he said he been in the industry for 41 years and he's a baby. So when he joined this FIATA, so you were a baby. I'll allow Mr. Marco to ask him one question.
You are a person that knows this association in and out, for sure. We have worked together for so many years. You have been the physical image of vocational training for this association, which is probably one of the most successful endeavors, FIATA, for time immemorial now. I mean, we're talking of decades, really, literally. Do you think that other than vocational training, which is, of course, a big success, is there something in your view that FIATA now, in this day and age, 2026, should embark in to achieve another step of the way? It's 100 years for FIATA.
Wow.
So
Absolutely.
what's going to be the next century?
Of course, my very good friend Marco, he was the
How much
Director
did you
General.
pay him?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Keep going.
The success of the previous programs that we have and still currently been promulgating is actually due to the fact of the team. FIATA itself, under the good leadership, for example, like Marco, running the office. So I'm not saying this just because it's with me, but really he has contributed so much in terms of advocacy that helps us to line up a lot of different stakeholders in the global supply chain, public-private sector. So that helps a lot in my work with the team that I have in the advisory body vocational training previously. Today it's called the FIATA Logistics Institute. So we have been promulgating the standards since 1998, the FIATA distinction in FIATA Diploma in International Freight Forwarding and the Advanced Diploma, or you can call the Higher Diploma in Supply Chain Management. Now this has always been evergreen, necessary as a vocational training element for operators around the world, whether it's coming from developing economy or it could come from a much more mature economy. And it still stands today. However, we have seen changes, especially in 2016 onwards. We've seen the digitization, digital transformation. Now, so with these massive changes and very short cycles in terms of IoT, in terms of even cloud computing, in terms of large language model today, you have the OpenAI, you have the Agentic AI, Generative AI. Now, Copilot, you name it, Zapier, Azure, whatever. Now, today's businesses looks at leveraging on digital economy, whether it's public or private sector, the ability to leverage on these advantages for their businesses become very evident and they become necessary. So because of this kind of development and the needs of the global industry, you ask the question, what's the next game changer? Now, the next game changer revolves around all this that we have talked about, involve about technology, employment, in a very fast pace. Now, just look at it,
every day is
you can see that ChatGPT, the OpenAI, was introduced only on November 2022. Today is only April today, So you look at a very short cycle, what has happened? You have DeepSeek, you have Azure, you have Copilot, you have Zapier, and all the technological AI platform. And today you're not even talking about basic AI. You're talking about generative AI, that is an improvement for RPA. And then today you talk about agentic AI. So corporations are looking at employing not real humans, but AI agents to run their repetitive role. In freight forwarding, logistics and supply chain, These roles are being covered now on beta runs in many economies. For example, customer services, preparing documentation, even we talk about sales and marketing, at least on the indoor sales.
And they're already doing it. They train their
Yeah,
team online. And
exactly. I mean, you could be picking up a phone that someone call you and
yeah,
talk,
they are the
not
fake,
like a robot,
yes,
but like
they
a
sound
human,
like a real
and
human.
ask you whether you like to enroll for a particular
They
credit
can
card.
close the sales.
Yeah, the
They
other
closed
day I
it.
had that, you know.
Yeah.
So then I suspected because they had a half-second delay in the way they talk, but so natural. It's not like 3 years, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, "Are you an AI?" And then you know what? That lady said, "Yes, sir, I'm AI." You know.
Yes.
That's not where you're trained.
No, so
that
you
should
see,
be trained.
the machine learning, you know, they are
Yes.
they are really very advanced.
It is
So
surprising.
yeah, so if you see these needs, when you develop education program or to share the knowledge, we always benchmark against needs and expectation.
Yeah.
Training needs analysis, for example, the TNA. So what we do is that we need to examine the market and see that this is the needs of the market. Now, what about tactically, you know, in 6 months' time?
Yeah.
And today the cycle get very short. Then we move on to the strategic part of it. So then we develop for different target audience. Of course, for FIATA, we are looking at supporting our association members and also their members as well.
Yeah.
So that's why we will keep on looking at developing these needs and expectation of the customer, which is actually our association members and their members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a naturally born leader,
So
if I can say that so freely.
for me, I have no chance to ask anymore. He's gonna make a lecture for the next 24 hours. But that was very
You
amazing.
always
That
have
was-
to listen
that
Thomas
was-
because there's a lot to learn. Always.
That's very insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank
and I want to
you.
ask quickly now, because I'm a new generation, not that new. I'm old, but not that old. I'm very familiar with all the AI you just talked about.
Yes.
But for me, I'm more focused on the human side of it.
Yes.
Because I'm very concerned because I can tell, like you said, with the voice and everything. I saw those videos. Everybody's going crazy, viral. I was, that's fake. That's AI. But people still liked and they purchased cargo
Sure.
because of that.
Sure.
And it's very concerning because I have kids who are young.
yeah.
So I believe, from my perspective, I want to hear from yours as
Yes.
well, is we don't just invest in learning,
Sure.
of course, because you have to understand first, then you can become detective, right? If you want to be a detective, you have to understand the criminal, how they think, how they
Absolutely.
work. So I believe in the long term, would you agree with me that we also need to implement the mentorship, the human side, because many new generation, they got lost, not because of the AI stuff, they're very good, but because of the mind. They lost their mind because
Of-
they are so
absolutely.
confused. They didn't have the time that when we were having neighbors sitting next to
Yes.
each other and chatting and playing, that's missing.
Yes.
So what's your perspective about that? And what can we do together to make the future a better place?
So that is excellent question. There are two main questions now. So let me take it one by
Yes,
one.
yes.
So let's take at the first one.
Yeah.
In order to actually develop this kind of technology for the young generations like
yes.
yourself.
No, I'm not that
now,
young.
We
Keep
have, we have to go into their mindset, emulate what they are thinking.
Yeah.
Look at it, because if we think in our old school kind of way, we will never understand them actually. So we have to go into their mindset, learn from them, get to know what are they looking for. So a lot of misconception people have is that AI will replace my job. That's very normal because in fact it has a lot of productivity. It cuts down a lot of time. If you're going to do a lot of things using AI, it also certain things, like dangerous, hazardous good substance, you use robotics to handle,
yes.
firefighting, and many other things. So you find that people will say, "Oh, I'm going to lose my job." It's very natural. But I think if you're static, that means you're not thinking of improving yourself.
Yeah.
And redeploy yourself.
Exactly.
Reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just-
Unlearn and relearn.
Yeah, just
You see?
quick one. I know you were going to share. I just want to quickly jump on there because the problem is not that you're going to be replaced.
Yeah.
You're only going to replace when you don't know how to use AI. Because they are going to
Absolutely.
replace you when
Yeah.
others know how to use it, but you don't.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, so yes, using AI is one thing. Now, the other thing is what other skill sets that you can
Exactly.
do which the machine cannot do at this point of time, but it changes. So it's very dynamic because with machine learning, they can learn more and more. So one has to think about what currently that the AI cannot do that we can do. And there are a couple of elements in that. If you're talking about repetitive role, things that can be done with, repeating the role, of course, AI can do much better and more accurate, including, like, for example, this is not new AI actually, but the proliferation into industry is in recent years. But look at the autopilot in the Boeing and Airbus,
Yes.
it has been there for a while already. Of
course.
Yeah, then look at AGV today. They are actually adopting similar concept into
Yes,
to the day-to-day life.
Agree.
So with this kind of mindset, people has to keep on reinventing themselves.
Yes.
They have to pivot, and the pivot cycle today is very short.
Yes.
In the
Much
past, you
shorter.
can do like 5 years, 8
10,
years,
even 10.
10 years.
Now it's only less than a few
1
days.
to 2 years.
Yeah, and sometimes it
at
gets
most.
shorter and shorter.
Sure. The people have to think about how can I make myself
Exactly.
relevant
More
in the new
valuable.
world. We have to learn. For us, coming from not even the mobile phone era, we have to learn how to use
In the beginning, I was
Everything.
talking about telexes. Imagine.
the Lexus.
It's
I
like,
also did the
what's a
telex.
dinosaur?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so-
Well, I believe we should have a masterclass for this because I'm also very passionate about this topic. We're going to stay here forever because we're in the middle of the conference. So I just want to
Okay.
quickly ask one more
Yeah,
question
sure.
for the younger generations, which we
Yes.
all care about. What's your advice to those generations, particularly in the logistics industry?
Yes.
Because Marco has shared an amazing wisdom earlier. What's your 3 minutes advice
Okay.
to this?
Again, there are elements where actually the machines can't completely compete with the human as well. So elements, a lot of things on relationship management, a lot of things on
My strength.
the chemistry of
Yeah.
of getting to know each other in a more deeper way instead of just surface level, more intrinsic.
Robotic, yeah.
Yeah. So you find that people have to actually recognize these skills, the skill sets, and develop deeper into that. So that way they can actually make themselves more relevant. The idea is to make yourself relevant, but you must know which area we have to make ourselves relevant.
Yeah.
Like for example, it's good to do your Zoom, your asynchronous, synchronous learning, for example, but nothing beats the face-to-face.
Yes.
The expression, the
The
body
feeling,
language.
you can even smell the chemical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
That's
body
actually
normal.
true. That is
Yeah.
actually a scientific truth.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
true.
just said.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, there's still differences. Don't be fearful of technology. You have to employ the right thing.
You are the master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you become the master of the technology.
Yes, don't be the slave.
Don't be the slave. Absolutely.
Very true.
I think this discussion goes and on, where a lot of researchers, a lot of discourses on that. I think people will keep on
really right.
transforming.
Oh, I love that. We just come up with the AI discussion. Thank you so much.
Pleasure,
Well, just to
pleasure.
conclude what Mr. Thomas just said, I also believe there are two sets we need to have as human. One is your mindset, one is your skill set. And these are the main sets we need to build up. Like you said, it's changing, especially for as age goes and AI changing. But I believe one is communication, one is your, like you said, the how to really social skills, which is why there are so many younger generations that feel so bad for them that because they're using too much technology
Absolutely.
and check that phone and everything, they get to be really awkward social.
In my view, we should also avoid being paternalistic. I mean, these guys, excuse me, they have the freedom
Yes.
to experiment
Yes.
the world as they see it.
Yes.
I don't think that it is advantageous to try to oblige them into rails that we see and they don't.
Yes.
You
So
have
true.
to accept the fact that the world of the future is a world that we do not know.
Exactly,
They
they
may have a
will.
glimpse.
Yes.
We do not.
Yes.
So you have to accept that new generation must retain the freedom to
Yes.
build the world that they like.
Yes.
I hear
Absolutely.
often people of my age or even younger who are obsessed with the idea that they have to entrench their children or nephews or nieces or whatever in a system
the way they
that,
want to.
as they see it.
Exactly.
I think it's a
That's
mistake.
wrong. That's wrong.
It's a mistake. Of course, you have to give them guidance. That's
Yeah.
another story.
Yeah.
Giving guidance is a completely different
Yes.
idea
Yes.
from
To enforce.
keeping people in rails.
Yeah,
That is
I can-
what is
I
not
agree with
working.
you, Marco. I
Thank
probably probably what you're thinking when I said that. I'm not criticizing them because actually I'm the one who understands them a lot.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is every generation has their own life.
Exactly.
You have to respect that. But what we can do is bridge the generations.
Yes.
And why I'm saying that because we did have those experiences, they don't. Which is why I feel really bad for them. It's not that I feel they don't. Actually, my daughter teach me more than I learned from somewhere else. She knows more than I do. And the next generation are smarter as a psychology-wise. You know they're smarter than us, which we have to embrace the fact. But the thing is, how can we work together? That is the very important thing. We can help to be, because we are the leaders right now.
Look at the world with big hopes,
Exactly.
big bright eyes.
Yes.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank
Fully
you so
agree.
much. We need to sit down next time to have like a deeper and longer conversation because
Thank
it's really
you.
amazing. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank
tuning in.
Thomas.